Hey, you guys. Wow. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. We're doing this. Like, you are watching this. I mean, not right now because I'm pre-recording it, but, um, okay. This is such a huge deal to me. I'm so grateful, um, like to even be having the opportunity to, I mean, it's such an honor for me to speak to people who, like, even care to have my guidance as a leader. um I'll be real with you. I've like kind of always struggled with that just whole concept. I like before Young Living, I mean, I would have never like use that term to describe like my personality type. Like, I don't like to lead. I don't like to lead things. I'm just like super introverted, and my preference, my tendency is to just like be over here on an island. Like, I want to be doing my own thing. I don't want anyone telling me what to do, and I also don't want to be telling anyone else what to do. Like, I don't, leave me alone. I'm doing my own thing over here. And so, when I did jump into this as a business, like you've probably noticed, there's all this talk about leader. You're like, if you're doing the business, you're a leader, and I was like, like, do I have to be? Like, because I don't know if I'm cool with that. But I will say that honestly, like, one of the biggest gifts of this business and what it's done for me personally is that it has truly like brought out parts of me that I didn't even know existed, things that I didn't know I could ever do or be good at. It's just changed me in such an unexpected way. And it is still kind of a little bit of I guess, a struggle, like for me to be like, even here, like, hi, I'm your leader, I'm your mentor. But like that is just kind of a little mind obstacle I need to get over because, a little mental block, if you will, because, this is not being a leader, and even what we're doing here, this mentorship, this is not me telling you, what to do. This is not me being your boss. And so really what it's about is, I want to be someone for you that's like, I have been where you are. I understand like every single thing that you're going through. And I just want to be there to offer my experience and my encouragement and be your cheerleader and just be someone that is there for you to do this together. Because yeah, I actually do like doing things as a team now. I don't necessarily have to live in my little introvert island anymore. So I think that's a pretty cool thing that that Young Living's done for me. So and I cannot express to you just how honored I am. Oh my gosh, you guys, like, I love you guys so much. Like, I never would have expected to be in this team of this many like amazing people that I just like, I'm like, how did this happen? How did this happen? I mean, even if you're brand new and I don't know you yet, I do want you to know that you like scored. You landed yourself in a really good place because, not because of me, I mean, but there are just so many amazing people that you are now connected to that make up this community, and like, it is truly the best. So be excited if you are brand new in that aspect. Anyway, so being day one, I kind of thought, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about my story and kind of like, where I came from, how I got here, and I guess for me, like, if I'm going to be learning from someone and like, taking their advice, I kind of like to know that stuff, like, where they came from, what kind of a background, and just, in hopes of getting to know each other a little bit better. So, gosh, where to begin? I need more peppermint. Okay, so I will tell you that I am one of those people who never, ever, ever in a million years thought that I would do an MLM. That was a dirty word for me. I completely, actually, to put it more clearly, in fact, right before I joined, I was like openly, like literally mocking the actual people who ended up signing me up into Young Living. Because, I mean, that's terrible, but it's the truth. And I tell them, sorry, I made fun of you. Okay, so like my actual sponsor, no, wait, let me tell you about another person in our upline. You probably will figure out who this is later on, but anyway, so her and my direct sponsor, and we were all in, we were actually like colleagues prior to Young Living, because we were all doing blogging, and so we were kind of connected to each other in that way. And so this particular person in our upline, she started doing this whole essential oils thing. You know, she had a blog, and she was like, you know, tacking this onto her business, and I was just like, you are nuts. Like, what? Like, you are insane for doing this. First of all, didn't you know that no one ever makes any money doing MLM? And also everyone hates it. So like, you're going to destroy your credibility. Like that's where I was. I'm just like, oh my God, like, I'm just about ready to watch this train wreck. Like, okay. And so, the spoiler alert to this story, I guess, is that I can't even tell you how much I regret how much I dug my heels in and just like sat there and was like, you're so dumb for doing this, and like didn't just open my eyes and my mind, I guess. Because if I hadn't, if I had actually said yes to her and to my sponsor, even like a few months prior to when I did, it would have been a much different story, the way that my story played out. Maybe that's another thing for another day. Basically, joke's on me, because that person that I was making fun of, well, she makes a very hefty 6-figure a month salary from Young Living now. So, meh. Anyway, I did want to bring that up though, because I do feel like I have a pretty good gauge on that issue of like people judging us for the MLM thing. And I mean, I'll be straight with you. Like, that is a problem. That is an obstacle that we have to overcome. There are ways to do it. But it is a issue, because there is a lot of just general disdain, for network marketing as a whole. So, and I feel like I have a pretty good like perspective to speak on that, because I was that person. Like, I know exactly what they're thinking. So I know how we can sort of change that dialogue, if you will. Anyway, that's later on that we'll deal with that. So, okay, so back to the story. So I never thought that I would do this type of business. Like, hell no. Like, I was never going to do that. But I have always been like very entrepreneurial minded. Like I said, I was doing the blog thing. Well, I mean, like, honestly, my whole life, I just always knew that I was going to do something different. Like, actually, when I was a kid, all I cared about was horses. And so I was convinced that I was going to be a famous horse trainer. And that was going to be my job. I was going to do tours of it's a thing. If you're a horse person, you might know that. If you're not, you think I'm psycho, but that is a thing. You can be a famous horse trainer. And so, yeah, that's what I thought I was going to do. I did not. So, I did have some like normal employment. Like, I did go to college, and I had some regular jobs, and I very quickly figured out that is not for me. Like, basically, I just really quickly realized that I do not want to have a job, and I will do anything to not have a job. That was just my new mission in life, like very, very quickly as a young adult. So what that led to, I guess, oh my gosh, easily 10 years ago, 10 years ago, the blog thing. So like, I started noticing, like, I was Googling stuff, and I was really surprised to notice that suddenly, like, there were these websites that would pop up that were like, not actual legitimate, like, with official sources for anything, but just websites that people just made. And like, I remember one time in particular, what was I searching for? Homemade baby formula? Like, cause I was nannying at the time, and it was like, it came across my mind. I just looked up out of curiosity, and I found this blog, and I was like, this isn't like a real website. Like, this is just, she's just typing out like her opinions, and like, she's earning money doing this. And I'm like, well, I could do that. So I did. Like, I just kind of figured it out. I had something I was really, I had become passionate about at the time, which was like alternative health and nutrition. And so I just, like I said, I worked my tail off. I was going to do whatever it took to not have to have a job again. And that was my motivation. And I don't know. I mean, writing is something that happens to come fairly easily for me. And I also tend to be like pretty opinionated and, I don't know, I guess a little on the sassy side, or I especially was back then. I tried to rein it in for my other public persona now. But anyway, so for whatever reason that resonated with people. I grew a pretty good sized, audience relatively quickly. Within about a couple years, I had a very modest but full-time income. And so when Young Living came along, when I did finally say yes to those people I was making fun of, it happened fast. I basically said yes, got the kit, and I fell hard in love with like all of it. The oils, like I had no clue going into it. I had no clue that, because again, this was 5.5 years ago. There's a lot less awareness about essential oils. Even being in the alternative health sphere, I had so little knowledge. Like I thought that they were literally just for like an alternative to fragrance, like for smelling good, I had no clue the effects they could have. And very, very quickly, I started experiencing like extremely life-altering, able to function on a different level, emotional type of benefits. And that just absolutely like blew me away. And it was like, no, everyone needs to know about this, like everyone. And so I had gotten, so it's 2014. I got my kit in February, I can never pronounce that. And I started sharing about it a little bit. I started working the business a little bit. And then by March, I really dove in. I was like really super determined to, at that point, I was like falling in love with not just the oils, but the fact that this business was such a legitimate opportunity. I basically busted what I could out of that. And so by the end of March, I was executive. And that was basically because I told every entrepreneur that I knew that hadn't already joined with someone else, which that was an issue at the time. A lot of people in my circle. Anyway, I'm a little, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But basically, everyone that I approached, I was just like, you have to do this. Like, I know that we are going to be successful doing this. There is zero doubt in my mind. And I just kind of spread that enthusiasm and that confidence. And I got other entrepreneurial minded people on my team. And that is something that we can talk about more later, because I do think there's a time and a place to like kind of lead with that. So also I also got my booty to a convention in June. So like 3 months after I'd even really been, in. And that was incredible. I fell in love hard, not only with the oils, not only with this opportunity for the business, but like if you haven't been to a Young Living event, it's pretty hard for me to explain in words. You pretty much just have to go to one to understand what I'm talking about. But the sense that you get for the heart and the true family and the culture that surrounds Young Living globally, it is like nothing in the world. Like it has such an extremely powerful effect on your life. I mean, it's incredible. And it really surprised me because, I am really, really not like the rah, follow the crowd type. Like, I don't know, like when I was when I was a kid in Girl Scouts, like, it used to bug me to have to like sing the songs with everyone else. I'm like, I don't want to sing your songs. Like I've just always been like that type of person, you know? So, you know, drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak, and being like super, super sold on something like this is very unlike me. So that's why you know, but that is just how real and how genuine this was for me. I mean, I was just 1,000% in at that point. I vividly remember, being at convention and coming home that night, you know, while there, like going home from the sessions, to the little condo that I was renting with 7 other people at the time. It was pretty funny. And I got out my phone and I was checking my downline, and I hit silver, and I cried. I cried a lot because I just knew in that moment, this is what I was gonna do for the rest of my life. I felt like I had won the lottery. And I felt very undeserving, and I felt like I was going to do whatever it took to really turn this into something as meaningful as I could, and do good things for our team, the people that helped me get there. And I just knew, I mean, this is it. That was it for me. You know, and I already at that point had an income that was like rivaling my blog income. So I was just like, screw that. Like, I'm going to stop blogging. Like, I was over it, you know, because my heart was just so fully into my new incredible life, you know, as a living leader. So, however, I will say this, I am kind of a good example of both ends of the spectrum. So I don't want you to hear this whole thing like, oh, you made executive and won, like that never happens, and like stuff like, you know, I because I'm usually that person, like, yeah, you know. So I will tell you that, yeah, so you are going to come across, you know, people that, you know, that hit silver in 6, or, you know, RCD in 18 months or whatever, you know, and it is kind of hard to see people like that. It is for me, at least. Even though, okay, because I hit silver in 3 months. And at the time I thought, I was just clearly going to keep going at that pace. Like, I was like, I'm borderline cocky about it. Like, I was just like, I'm going to be diamond in a year. And, you know, like, I was just that confident, which bless me for that. But, excuse me, I've got like capsule burps. Anyway, so, I mean, yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with having that level of confidence, having huge dreams like that, because it, you know, it can happen. But when it doesn't, it can be really difficult to restructure your thoughts, and get that vision going again that you can actually like have confidence in. So I'll tell you, yeah, what ended up happening is, it was about 18 months. Yeah, it was 18 months, before I hit gold. So I had the OGV earlier, about like 3 months after I hit silver, but I didn't have the leg, until, yeah, I was about 18 months in. And, what's funny now is, the other end of this, why I'm telling you this, is if you don't know, here we are 5 years later. Well, I guess 4 years after hitting gold. Hi, still gold. Still, where's my lanyard? Like, yellow lanyard at convention. Which, I need to get over myself and be proud of that. Anyway, it you know, it's as frustrating as it's been. Actually, I am kind of glad that that my path kind of looked like that. Like I said, I've experienced both ends, the super fast type and the not so fast. And I'm glad for that, because I had this path that, you know, I didn't keep shooting up the ranks really stupid fast, because that is just so unrelatable to most people. And the last thing I would ever want is for someone to be like, I suck because I didn't get to silver and whatever, you know, like that kind of thing. You don't let yourself go there. Like, it's just not going to serve you. So, and the other thing is that the fact that here we are, you know, still gold. We're a platinum sized team. We've had platinum volume for a couple years, but we're still gold. It taught me, this whole thing has taught me like the really important lesson that this is a long game thing. Like, we are lifers. This is not a, sprint, a race, yeah. So the other big lesson that I learned through this is, okay, so it was like, went to convention, hit silver, and then later that summer I got pregnant with Leona, and I had unbelievably extreme like exhaustion, really difficult emotional stuff going on. Also, the compliance crackdown, if you are familiar with that, that happened shortly after, and that rocked me. That basically felt like taking a rug out from under me, because my plan for how to do this business, like I was going to do it online. I was going to blog. I was going to, tell people about all the health benefits and all, that's my thing. Like I can teach about that. And now it was like, nope, no, you can't. You're not allowed to. So I just, it was like taking wind out of my sails, like big time. And I just was having such a hard time. When I had Leona, I basically quit. I did not know what to do. She ended up being an extremely difficult baby. And I just couldn't do anything else. I couldn't do anything else other than just like survive being a new mom with a hard baby. I just mental health wise and otherwise, I couldn't do anything else. So for over a year, like a year and a half, I want to say, I basically did nothing. I didn't have a group. hadn't even made, our team group that you're in. I didn't enroll anyone. I just stopped. I just kind of went away back to my little island, and I just stopped. And I can't, it's one of those things that I just will never be able to express my gratitude for, but just the timing of it all, because what ended up happening is that here I am, I quit. Well, I still kept getting paid. My team kept growing, and my check was even increasing, like with or without me. And I mean, first of all, I say this, I do not want to ever give like any kind of false hope. Like this is not an easy, sign up and you're going to have money coming to you till forever, thing. No, I mean, you have to put in the work and lay that foundation. And there is a point at which it does have that snowball effect. But it's not to say that, you don't, it's always work. It's always work, But basically what that whole lesson taught me was just the value of residual income, because that truly was what we were experiencing. I mean, here I was not doing anything else, and this business was still taking care of me, taking care of us. And I knew that was going to be the case for the rest of my life. And it was like, you know what, you better get back in the game and figure this out, because that is something that you cannot let go. That is everything. To have that kind of security, it is life-changing beyond belief. So I ended up, I found my passion again. I got out of that fog. I jumped back in, and I did want to become like more of a leader. I felt super like indebted to all the leaders under me and on our team and everyone. And I just felt like I really, really, really needed to be there to support my leaders who had supported me with all their hard work. So, I made our group, and the last couple of years I've been doing a lot of that, like just being really focused on trying to build our community and support our leaders and our members like however I can. And I haven't been that focused on enrolling people myself. That is like the major struggle when you get to, a certain point in your business. You have to juggle those many different things. So therefore we've been a little stuck. We haven't ranked up, like I said. And now it's up to me to get that fourth leg there so we can rank up to plat. And, but I kind of think of it this way. You might hear this elsewhere, but so there's 9 ranks, in Young Living. And, people say like, well, if you hit 1 rank every year, well, in 9 years, like you're going to be royal crown, and I mean, who wouldn't like go to work, doing something that they enjoy and feel passionate about every day for 9 years, if it was going to if it was going to pay you $153,000 a month. So, yeah, who would say no to that? No one would say no to that, obviously. And I'm not saying that that's like magically, no matter what, in 9 years you're going to be Royal Crown. That's not how it works, of course. But, you know, here we are, 5 years in, and I'm at the 5th rank. So, you guys, 4 more years, and we'll be RCD. Anyway, no, but in all seriousness, like, I have absolutely every confidence in our team. We are going to be at the top rank of this company. I am not ashamed to say that I have that confidence. I absolutely do. I know that's where we're going. That's where I'm going. I know that's where this team is destined to be. So okay. I guess to finish my story, here we are 5 years later. We are full-time young little YLers. Neither my husband or I work at all. We don't have any other jobs. We haven't Jay quit his job over 2 years ago. So yeah, we took a big leap of faith. He was really not happy with his job. You know, we had a young child, and we just kind of decided that it was worth giving up his other income so that we could have the freedom to have our own time and our days. And you know, it was like, yeah, I'll take a pay cut for that, because I've had a taste of that kind of freedom, and that is worth everything to us, everything. And I know that once you start experiencing more and more of the freedom that this business can provide for you, you're gonna have the exact same feeling. So, I mean, you know, so a lot of people kind of feel like that whole retire your husband thing is like super far-fetched, and you know, or like, oh, I'm gonna maybe when I'm diamond or whatever. But you know, I just, to me, it's like, do whatever you got to do. Get the freedom. You know, we have 2 kids now, I guess, to tell you more about life today. We had another one after the terrible baby. She's a delight now, I'll tell you that. And, you know, and it's our whole reason why we're just never, ever, ever going to give up on this. And it's worth everything to us. So I guess I want to tell you, just like as far as like the vision for what we're doing here. So one thing I left out, one more of like the reason why I did quit for that period of time. And it's a big reason why. And it's also why I finally feel like my voice is needed. Because most of you already have other people in your upline, like under me, that are incredible. And you know, for the longest time, I'm like, well, do they really need me? You know? But I've just been through so many we've all been through different things in our journey. And I feel like my part of what I have, you know, something additional to provide, is, okay, so going back to the whole, remember I was the MLM hater. So after the whole compliance crackdown thing, my whole plan of building was shot. I didn't know what to do. And I am pretty stubborn. I'm pretty opinionated. You know, like I said, I hated MLMs. Like I was still kind of like, you know, I was still kind of embarrassed to be associated with that. I kind of prided myself that I was nothing like those typical people that do, you know, MLMs. And I was just like, well, I will be damned if I am going to be forced to host a little sales party in my living room like a Tupperware lady, because that is not what I signed up for. I mean, I was like that adamant about it. It's just, that's not me. And at that time, the only thing that our upline, and that people were really talking about became a bunch of typical network marketing stuff. So a lot of like guru worship going on at the time, which was way too Kool-Aid-y for me to ever take a sip of. I basically hated everything that I was hearing. how it's like, oh, well, this is how you have to build your business. You need to duplicate everything that you do has to be, your people under you have to do it too. This is how it's done. You need to make your list of 100 people, everyone you've ever known in your life, and you have to be on the phone every single day. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So, that was, again, like the point at which I just stopped. And so here's the thing, you guys. So what changed that for me, I earned myself, an all expenses paid trip to the Gold Retreat. These are part of the perks of hitting rank silver and up, which I felt kind of bad about at the time, because that was like still within the time that I had basically quit. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they're sending me on this. But thank God they did, because it was so absolutely transformative to get outside of my bubble. I got to meet different people who were obviously very successful, doing things in so many different ways. And it opened my eyes, because, I finally understood, like, oh, no. You don't have to follow the rules of network marketing to be successful. There are 8,759 ways to do this business. And so what I realize is like, if way number 692, like, is not for you and doesn't serve your strengths and your, what you're actually going to enjoy and be good at, then forget it. Like, move on to something else. The things that you actually enjoy doing, not the things that make you want to barf. Like, okay, the guru stuff with the call people every day, like, that made me want to vomit. So I realized, like, this is such an important message that people need to understand, that you can do it your own way. I learned that there were people that were only building on social media, that didn't even teach classes, and they were not the Tupperware lady. Or there were people that were hosting events that were actually fun, that people actually wanted to go to, because they weren't just a boring sales pitch, and I just want to take that, like that wide open possibility type of vision that I finally got, and pass that on to you. And I just want to say that to help you understand that, like, this is not going to be like you need to do, like, here's the steps X, Y, and Z. And I mean, some things are things that everyone does need to know, and some things are applicable to everyone. But what I'm saying is that this is not what it comes down to. Is not like some boring formula. And, like, okay, I did not call this training a boot camp for a reason, because no, we are not going to fall in line with everything that has always been done. No. First of all, well, aside from that, a lot of the things that have been done are not working anymore. And that's a dirty word to say that, but I'm going to say it, because you guys, there are paths that are working, and they're different for different people. So that's what this is about. We are going to figure out what it is that's going to work for you, okay? And it's a little different than what's going to work for me, or for her, or for him, or for, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we need to come together and collaborate, and, like, really explore all the different ways that we can sort of, make this for you. Make this for you is what I'm getting here. I mean, because for the right person, who is dedicated, who is willing to put in the work into figuring that out and then executing it and just showing up every single day, like day after day, like, if you can be that person, then there is nothing that you cannot achieve. I will tell you, I've been in this business, I've been in this industry, I've been in long enough to know that if you have that, I like to call it stickability. That's a Richard Brooke thing. He is actually a guru that I do love. More on that later. So if you have that, if you have just that ability to stick with it, you are halfway there. I mean, more than halfway, because that is what it takes. The reason why very few people end up making these, high ranks is because there's just very few people that are willing to keep going, to keep doing it. It has been rough. I will not lie to you. It's been rough getting to the point where I am, and it's still rough. You guys, we're in a season right now where things are changing so fast, it feels almost impossible to keep up. But you know what? It's not, because I know if I keep showing up and I keep digging in and I keep finding all these different paths that are working and that do utilize my strengths and can keep, you know, me focused and on track. Like, I'm going to get there. We're going to get there. So I know I just I really want to so I'm hopefully going to give you just some more of that kind of like inspiration into seeing things in a different way. I really want to get like those self-motivation flames, you know, lit in you. That is what it takes. That is what it takes. And I believe in you guys so much. I know like 1,000,000,000% that working together, we can do crazy amazing things, like crazy amazing. So whew, I need some peppermint again to cool down from that little rant. Sorry, I get a little fired up. But you know, you gotta have that passion. Okay, so you guys, thank you. Thank you so much. I cannot express how grateful I am for you to even be watching this. And I freaking love you. We're gonna dive in even deeper tomorrow. I really want to continue with sharing our stories. I want to hear yours. I want to hear what got you here today, everything that led up to it. Like, I just love to get to know you better in that way. So thank you again for being here, for listening, for allowing yourself into this space. And it is just truly an honor to be connected with you. So let's chat more, and I'll see you later. Hey, honey. Say hi. Or say bye. We gotta stop this video. See you guys.